Okay.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Change Makers podcast. It's a platform where we've got influencers, we've got trailblazers, transformational leaders, and I'm so honored to have with me Lisa Courtney today. She's a brand goddess, she's a fine artist, and she's got three businesses, and all of them are in creative industry. I can't wait to hear all the gist behind all of this project that she's doing. And I'm so excited to have you here, Lisa.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Can you tell us everything behind the Brand Goddess? Can you tell us about Brand Goddess and all the other projects you have been into, all the three businesses?
Okay. I come from a family of creators. My great grandmother was an interior designer. My great grandfather was a creative director, like Mad Men, like Don Draper, and a celebrity painter. My nana was an illustrator, a painter, and a fashion designer. So it's in my blood to be a creator. But I didn't want to be a painter, and I studied advertising and graphic design because I loved art and writing, and it was an
Okay.
opportunity for me to do both. And so I've been branding for over 20 years, working for Fortune 500 companies, small companies, startups. I love doing brand makeovers.
Wow.
It again, it combines my love of the language with visuals and beauty and color. And it allows me an opportunity to help people. That's one of the things, like, for me, I have a purpose and it's separate from what I do, which
Okay.
is to lift people up,
Yeah.
and however that looks. So it's not necessarily my job, it's who I am as a person.
Wow.
I'm here to raise the vibration or make introductions. I love to, like, if I see one person and then another person, and if they come together, they could make something even better, then I make the introduction. So for me, creating, it's like every day, all day. That's all I do. So Brand Goddess, I do like branding. I just did a rebrand for this podcaster. His name is Rocky Lalvani, and he has a podcast called The Richer Soul. And
Wow.
I did his whole. I didn't do his website, but I designed book covers for him. I designed his Facebook, Instagram, all that. I wanted to give him a new look. Like he's this is an incredibly dynamic person, but his branding didn't reflect um, the richness that he brought to his followers.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow. What about brand therapy? We want to hear everything.
Therapy. You're so funny. Look at my hair. She looks like she just broke out of bed. I didn't. I've been up all day, I swear.
That's fine.
So brand therapy is, what I do is, a brand will come to me and they'll share with me what their existing look and feel is, and I'll be honest, I'll give them an evaluation. And I usually start with a 30-minute complimentary session just to give an overview. And if someone wants to hire me, then we go into, we start an hour session where I actually go through everything: your website, your vision, your mission, your tagline, your copy, everything. And then from there, I create sort of like an evaluation and what the potential things you could do to, elevate your brand, to align better. Is your brand aligning with who you are and your mission, and what do you want to put out there in the world? So that's what brand therapy is.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, what inspired you to start?
Brand therapy.
Yeah.
Well, people it's sort of like when I see something and I don't think it works. It's like looking at a car wreck. It's like, oh no, wait, no, but I got to fix that. Wait. And so and I try really to be kind, because I learned really at a young age that to start with the positive. So many times in creative, people, like, they go for the jugular, like they criticize, 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 and you should always start with the positive. So whenever I have a conversation with someone, I'll try my best to find something, a silver lining. Well, you did a good job with this, right? But again, this is about lifting people up. you
Yeah,
know uh,
that's right.
and everyone has their center of excellence, right? And mine happens to be graphic design, communication, all forms of branding, packaging. Like, that's my center of excellence. And so if you're a life coach, your center of excellence is not marketing and designing your website, it's coaching people.
Yeah,
So that's what I say to people. We all have one, and mine happens to be what I do.
yeah. Wow. So when did you start all of this? When did you start the brand goddess and the brand therapy? When did you start?
Oh, well, so the brand goddess, I have been doing, okay, now the dog has decided to eat. Can you hear the dog?
Yeah, no
Can you
problem.
hear the dog? I'm sorry.
It's fine, no problem. We just show up the way we are. We
And
are
the
real
dog is
people.
showing up. I was like, oh, what did you ask me?
I said, when did you start the brand therapy and the brand goddess?
So I've been like I've started my own business about, let's see, 16 years ago. The brand goddess, I sort of rebranded myself, if you will.
Okay.
Um, I I just decided I wanted to literally, I've been doing this a very long time, and I wanted to like sort of just say, this is me, this is who I am, and I want to work with people that want to, get aligned with their mission, their purpose.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I used to be Lisa Courtney Creative, and then I switched it to the brand goddess.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wow.
And then brand therapy, I've just sort of thought about within the last couple of years,
Okay.
looking at what people need, sort of like an
Yeah.
evaluation. Yeah.
Now tell us about your journey. When you started, did you experience any rejection from friends and families, and how did you handle that?
Well, I also have two other businesses, which are
Okay.
Lisa Courtney Fine Art, where I sell my paintings.
Okay.
And then that's an online, I do paintings and prints. And then I also have a company that I started beginning of the year called Good Gangsta. And that is an urban apparel line that's focuses on being positive and staying positive.
Okay.
That's so my family's like, go get a job. Why go get a, you need to work for other people. You need to go work. And I'm able to work and go into an office and work with people, but I have an entrepreneurial spirit, and I do a lot of different things, and I have a lot of different talents. And so what's best for me is being an entrepreneur, because at any given, I'll have an idea. Oh, here's a product idea, oh, here's, I just, ideas come, they just like fall. And
Wow.
sometimes I have ideas and I
Yeah.
don't have clients yet. I'm like, okay, I have this great idea for a plus size company. Like, I have an idea, but I need the client. So
Yeah.
it just, being an entrepreneur just fits me. I
Good.
guess.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Was there a time where finance was an issue?
Oh my God. With being an entrepreneur, it's feast or famine, right? It's either I'm still in the startup phase with Good Gangsta. I would love to say that, I'm generating 300 million a year, and maybe that will happen next year, but right now it's not. Yeah. So finance. Yeah. So my day job is doing branding. That's what people know me for. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And excuse me, my God.
It's fine. It's a mode.
You're asking me about finance, and I'm like, joking.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. And there was a time I remember you talking about your childhood and also growing up. Can you please explain to us, just take us through the journey before the brand goddess, the journey before you even started, so that
You
people
mean
can
like my,
know. Okay, I already said. Yeah.
okay, so you asked me about my background. So
Yeah.
I don't like to come from my childhood, but my mother left when I was 10, and she never came back. And that really affected me. Uh,
Well,
and I had a dad who, he did the best he could, and I was the oldest, and I was a rebel, and I was very different. I've always been what I call a square peg, and I never fit in. I didn't fit in my
mhm.
family. I felt like I just was always like, I never fit in. And I used to not embrace that. I was like, oh my God, I never fit in. I'm a square peg. When am I going to fit in? And now I'm like embracing that.
Yeah.
And then I got married, and I mean, he had an affair and he left. So like my mother left, and then my ex-husband left.
Oh,
And I got into this space of victimhood, I'm not going to lie. And I got sad and depressed and suicidal. Um, During the last recession, I was homeless. I lost my
wow.
business. I lost my home. I lost my mind. And it was humbling. I went from being extremely successful, having a six-figure income, to nothing. And it was a dismantling of my life, and it humbled me. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, I've had more than one. I mean, it's been a tumultuous journey. It hasn't been
Wow.
smooth sailing. It
Wow.
hasn't been like, oh yeah, I'm just like on easy street. Not at all.
Mm.
Um, I'm a pretty resilient person. Well, I continuously try, start something, and I don't give up, and I get knocked down, and it can be discouraging, but I have to keep moving forward. I have two kids. I'm a
Mm.
single mom. I've got two boys that are teenagers. And for me, I want to show them what it means to like go from rock bottom to like rock star. And now
Yeah.
I'm not in the rock star yet. I wish I could say that I am, but like my kids, they watch me. My kitchen table is my agency. My kitchen table is my ad agency. It's my fashion business. It's where I do everything. And they watch me, and sometimes I'm crying because something, some wall. I hit a wall,
Right.
and my oldest will come up and he'll give me a hug, and he'll be like, Mom, I am
Oh.
so proud of you. I'm just like, it makes me cry whenever he'll like text me in the middle of the day. He'll be like, I am so proud of you, because he just watches me and he knows that it's not like I'm sitting home, watching HBO. I'm like sitting every day making an effort to create a business that can make a difference.
Yeah.
And that's why I did Good Gangsta, because I want to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I didn't really talk about that, but 10% of all the clothes goes to 10% of the profits go to causes I believe in. And the
Mm.
first one was homelessness, because I was homeless. And a
Mm.
lot of people don't know that. Like, I look like I got it going on. You look at
Yeah.
my LinkedIn site, you think, oh my God, what hasn't she done? But the reality is, it happens to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and
Wow.
it is a mind shift also. Like I said, I was in a state of being a victim for a long time, and I had to shift. Happiness is a mindset. It really is.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing all of this. You've been through a lot and you didn't allow that to hold you back.
No.
And you're still doing what you enjoy doing. You've got three businesses and it's taking a process. You're not giving up. So to our audience now, we've got no excuse. Giving up is not an option, honestly, because if you've been through all of that, I'm not saying that other people's story might be worse than that, but this should encourage you that it's not success is not for special kind of people, and it doesn't mean that everything is going to work well in 24 hours or few hours. It's a process, and it could take years. You just need to get going. You need to trust the process. Thank you so much. So, do you experience some negative thoughts?
Oh, what with
And how do
myself?
you handle that? Yeah.
Well, it's recently I'm conscious, right? It's like I can choose to put poison in my stomach, in my body with bad food, and in my mind with bad thinking. And I know it sounds like master of the obvious, right? But
Hmm.
the reality is, I kept saying bad things, continuously telling myself what I heard as a child. You know,
Oh,
I wasn't enough. I wasn't good enough. I was going to be a left. And it was just this like cyclical talk that wasn't, it's something I learned as a child. And it wasn't meant, they didn't mean to do that, but it was just what
mhm.
I learned, the programming. It wasn't enough. There wouldn't be enough. And I've literally had to reprogram how I think. Like I have things, I have like affirmations all over my house. I have a vision board. I have, I make a conscious effort of what I put in my mind. And I'm not going to lie. Sometimes every day I wake up and it's like I wake up on what I call waking up on the wrong side of the head.
Mm.
And I literally have to be like, I have to shift my energy. I have to shift my thinking, because it's so easy to go there, especially the situation.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. We've really learned a lot from your experience, from what you do and what inspired you. I just want to let you know that Lisa has got a gift for us, and this is 30 minutes complimentary brand therapy session. This is so cool. Can you tell us about that and how they can get that?
Sure. I don't know where I can put it, but I offer a 30-minute complimentary session where you come to me, you share, anything you want to share, and I'll give you feedback on whatever you want it to be, whether it's your logo, your website, your book cover design, and I'll give you 30 minutes of my time. Yeah.
And from the description section, you can find the links and how you can reach out to Lisa. But we'll appreciate it if you can tell us the best way to connect with you.
Oh my God, I have too many emails because I
Okay,
have so
no
many.
problem.
No.
No
Okay,
problem.
so for branding, it's brandgoddessnyc@gmail.com.
Okay.
For Good Gangsta, it's lisa.courtney@goodgangsta, GANGSTA.com. So
Okay.
those are my two.
So are you on Instagram so that they can follow you on Instagram?
Yeah, so I am Good Gangsta Apparel. And then that's for Good Gangsta. And then Lisa Courtney Brand Goddess is my my fine art and my graphic design. That's my other Instagram. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's been so wonderful having you on this podcast today. And we look forward to having you one more time in the course of the year.
Thank you.
Yeah.